Monday Maydayology podcast by Hasty Fire Products, home of the Hasty Rescue Strap, the game-changing rapid intervention tool. All right, and we're back. Another episode of the Monday Maydayology podcast. Today's pretty cool. I got joining me the Metro Dade RIT team. These are some guys that I follow on Instagram, and they are a competitive RIT team. So it's a pretty cool, interesting aspect here. We got two members of the RIT team joining us today. We've got Carson Williams, 17 years in the fire service, currently a lieutenant with Miami-Dade. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is your team, it's Metro Dade RIT team, right?
Yeah. We went with the Metro Dade name.
I got you. And it's Miami-Dade is the department you work for?
Yes, sir.
All right, understood. It's a little confusing, sorry.
Yeah. We'll explain it.
Yeah, obviously a RIT team member. He's also a SWAT medic and a free diver. And then we also have Christian joining us. He's a firefighter paramedic, also with Miami-Dade, with 8 years on the job, a ultra runner, and an Ironman athlete. So that's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Guys, thanks for joining me. So
yeah, thanks for having us, man.
Than's for having us.
Anything else? Yeah, anything else you guys want the audience to know about you?
I guess we'll get into it. They'll know something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cover it. We'll touch
cool.
base as we go.
Cool. All right, so let's start with this. Not necessarily for the RIT team itself, but how'd you guys get in the fire service?
My story is kind of, it's not the original story that you normally hear where it's like I either had family or I always had a passion for it. It kind of just fell on top of my lap. I've been an athlete, played basketball, all kinds of sports my whole life, and then I had a few guys that were in the fire service that said that this lifestyle would fit mine. You know, I had the brotherhood aspect. I was an athlete. I had all the natural, call it, you know, I had what it looked like it took to be a good fireman and a good firegrounds firefighter. So I went with that. At the time I was working at my dad's mechanic shop, and I wasn't in love with it. I had great money, had a great life, but I was like, man, I need something more. Like, this is just not fulfilling my passion. Like, I'm just doing this. I'm going through the motions, and I gave firefighting a chance, and I fell in love with it. And here we are today, 8 years later.
Yeah, man, so many people do. It's a bug that'll bite you, man. If it's for you, it'll bite you, and it sticks, you know. That's awesome. Yeah. How about you, Carson?
Well, mine's polar opposite. My grandfather was a district chief at the city of Miami. My dad skipped, though, out. My grandpa talked him out of not doing it because he was like, it's going to be difficult. You know, it was a different time back then with hiring and everything that was being pushed. But I would see all his gear and his whatnot as a kid, so then I fell in love with the passion. I did Fire Explorers at Coral Gables and just was eaten up by it, man. This is all I wanted to do. I remember sitting in high school, the senior year, I'm like, I'm just wasting away here. I want to be in the fire service. Like, I know what I want to do. Like, let me go. Like, let me out of this cage and let me go run and do it. So yeah, I graduated, and a month later I was in the fire academy and just punching through as many certs as I could, as fast as I could to get out here.
Awesome, cool. All right, so what is the Metro Dade RIT team?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a crack at it. You want to start, Carson?
You were the one man RIT team, but I think I speak for both of us. Like we took a passion that we had. He found Frog. I wouldn't say we. Chris found Frog. I found Chris in the department. You know, we're a big department, well over 2,000 on the floor members. I'm guessing now we're hiring like crazy. And we wanted to change. We wanted to do something to challenge ourselves, but also bring knowledge back and change the culture in the fire service and our department itself with the search culture, you know, the RIT culture, and just. We get made fun of all the time. Guys like, all you do is RIT. And like we were talking a little before the podcast, is RIT is for my brother next to me. For you, if you're inside the fire with me, I don't work with you at the station, I'm on overtime, whatever. It's not just the RIT team. It's you know, having the skills and knowledge to go through. So, yeah, we kind of, I'll let the one-man RIT team take it over and say its part.
Yeah, it's so... Yes, we train for the 1% call on the RIT team, but that 1% training, it reaches out to every other aspect of your training. If you're good at RIT, you can do so many other aspects in the fire service. And the discipline you get from being on the RIT team or training for a RIT team, it just, you can see that it just goes to so many aspects. So the way it started was we didn't have a RIT team in our department, right? So when I got on, I wanted to try to start a team for Miami-Dade, but at the same time, I had just gotten off my old department in Orange County, and I was really passionate about RIT then, because I was a truckie in my old department towards the tail end of my career, and I love search culture. That's what really RIT is. It's just the ultimate form of search culture, because now instead of searching for victims, you're searching for your brothers or sisters. So it's the ultimate save, right? So that's what I wanted to do. And when I got on this department and I got off of probation, I started going down to the training center and just training on my own with the RIT bag, just refamiliarizing myself, because I spent a lot of time in the probationary academy, just learning different aspects of the fire service the way we do it in Miami-Dade. So I wanted to go back to the basics with RIT. And I just happened to land upon Captain Rick Stevens, who at the time was the RIT guy for us in the training grounds. And we just like started talking for like an hour or 2 hours about RIT, how I used to do it in my old department, how we do it here, and just like two people that were really just passionate and had a love for RIT. And he asked me if I wanted to start a team with him, and I wanted to join, and I said yeah. So we started building from there, and we had a group meeting. We had like 30 people show up to it. I thought the RIT team was going to be big. I thought a lot of people were going to be interested in doing it, but then little by little, people didn't show up to practices. I mean, a lot of people want the t-shirt, a lot of people want the name and the respect, and they want to say they're a part of something, but a lot of people don't want to show up and do it. So yeah, for a little bit, I was the one-man RIT team. I was showing up to practice by myself. And I was just going through the motions because I loved it so much. Regardless of whether I was going to compete or not, I was still going to get a rep in. And then Captain Stevens said, hey, I need you to find like-minded people. I need you to find people who are willing to commit. And that's what I did. I started looking for people, started building the team. Carson came in. He was like a godsend, because I didn't reach out to him specifically. But when he was there, like, we just clicked. Like, we both knew the mission. We both knew what it was going to take to get there. We were both so passionate about it. And as much as it's training for a competition, it's training for real life. Like, everything we do in training makes us better as firemen. I can't, put an actual live person there having an actual Mayday. I can't do an actual real collapse. I can't actually light the building on fire. But what we can do is we can put ourselves in real high stressful situations and work on our communication skills together. And that's what we do. That is what translates to the job. Like, when you're super exhausted and I'm blindfolded, I can't see, and now I got to communicate with my brother and my sister and figure out how to get the task done. And that's really what we get out of this.
100%, man. Awesome.
Yeah.
Couple things with that. I had to write it down because I thought it was awesome. He said it's the ultimate form of search culture. RIT has always been my niche as well, and I've never heard it put that way. I think that's awesome.
Nice.
I also want to circle back, Carson, something you said about how people say all you do is RIT, right? And one thing that I like to tell people when I hear the same thing, whether it's, all you focus on is RIT, or, we're here for the citizens first, you guys need to focus on that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, pump the brakes for a second. So for one, like you said, search, right? Cool. We're searching for, it's a higher stress type of search that can translate to searching for civilians. But the aspect I think that a lot of people don't understand is we serve everybody, right? So your brother, who is having a Mayday event, what is his wife and kids?
Yeah, exactly.
They're civilians, right?
Family. Mm-hmm.
So we're doing the best that we can to make sure that this civilian gets their husband or their father back home. So that is one aspect that I wish more people would look at. Like, yes, it's focusing on a firefighter, but look at the bigger picture here, man. We're still serving the general public, because that man outside of work is still part of the general public. Anyway, that's a little bit of a tangent, but
No, it's something that I struggled with when I joined the team because then I started doing Project Mayday. Reconnected with Rob Ramirez, Mayday Mindset, which is a perfect title to his program and just his understanding. It's a mindset. It's not that we're doing RIT team stuff because I struggled with that when we first got in. I was like, man, all we're doing is RIT team. Like I'm never gonna be on a RIT team. Like 17 years, never been part of a RIT team going in and getting somebody. Have been part of Mayday scenarios, but then I'm like, you know what? It's not the RIT team per se. It's the actions, the skills, me searching. I mean, just the putting the pressure on and putting the time on. Like you were saying, people just to wrap back around. People don't want to come and train. They'll come, they'll show up, and it's like, hey, we train twice a week. We're there for 4 hours. We're sweating in gear. It's hot. It's tiring. Blah blah blah. And then you have to go get in the ring and fight all the other beasts that are teams. And that's what puts the pressure on. And I think that's what we enjoy. And we kind of try to translate that into real life scenarios and hopefully be able to attach that to a real life scenario instead of just, I don't, trying to put the pressure on us, trying to make us better in that scenario.
Yeah, yeah, man, I get it. So I also want to clear one thing up, Christian. You said your department didn't have a RIT team, and when you say that, like back when you were starting, you mean, or did you mean a competitive team, right? Like you still had RIT on
absolutely.
incidents, like somebody. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. So just to clarify, we didn't have a competition team. Like we have
I
obviously RIT as an organization, as a department, we have a RIT culture already, but we didn't have anything that competed. And the crazy thing is that we were late to the game in South Florida. Like so many teams had it that when we finally got to compete, they were like, "Where have you guys been? Like we've been trying to get you guys here for a long time because you're such a big presence in Florida," which we are. We're the biggest department in Florida. Yeah. So that's something that for us, like that's our legacy, leaving to others. Like, and we try to instill that in everybody else. Like, it's not about just us being on the RIT team or trying to show out. Like, we just want to build the culture and we want to make it to where it's inviting to other people in the department to take part. Like, even us, like we tell people all the time, you can come down and train with us. We're not trying to show off or show up or say that we're better than anybody else. Like we learn from everybody. We watch videos all the time. We watch podcasts like this. We're always trying to adopt new things to make us better and to grow because no rep is the same. I mean, all our practices, we have a little course that we build, but for the most part, we switch it up all the time. We do different line of duty deaths. We would see how we would attack this, how to attack that. So it definitely translates, man. It's doing multiple reps of the basics is what translates to making us better firemen, and that's what we do. It's really the basics.
And that's with any skill.
Yeah. And it's all the same stuff. We're removing our pack, we're putting our pack back on, we're doing left hand search patterns, right hand search patterns. We're doing all the same things, and we're just getting better at it every day, especially the communication aspect as well.
Yeah, we do one. We call them repetitions when we go through a maze or a course as a team. We just call it a rep. So we'll do a rep where we just take off our pack and put it on at every obstacle, and it's insane how tiring that is for your brain and just the redundancy and your just fine motor skills. And it's like, wow, man, like I can't even take my pack on and put it off 5 times without being utterly exhausted.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it shows you your weakness for sure.
So how does a competition work, right? So how are they advertised? How many teams are there? And then how does the process of the day, the competition itself, how does that go?
You want to chime in, Chris? You want me to jump on it?
Yeah, I'll jump on. So the way the competition goes is they get as many teams as possible. It's not always the same. It could be 20 plus, it could be 15. It depends on the location. And what they do is there's 2 parts to the competition. The first part is a non-sequestered event where everyone gets to see what's going on. It's kind of a rat race that they build. Everybody does the same exact thing. It's all the same. The rules are the same, and we all compete. And during that time, within that rat race, the top 5 times make it to the final event. So you have to make it to that top 5 to make it to the finals. Once you make it to the finals on day 2, now it's a blindfolded event. You don't know what you're going into. It's based off of a line of duty death, and you're not allowed to see the course, none of the teams that make it. And what they do is they give you a starting point. They read a line of duty death to you, at least scenario wise. You have to pay attention to the radio report. You could have 1, 2, 3 victims, all requiring different things. They could be entrapped. They could be low on air. They could be conscious, unconscious. You really don't know what you're getting yourself into. And then as a 4-man team, you got to go in and solve the problem. And they have it based on time. Whoever gets the firefighter to the fastest back to the exit. And there's certain penalties that you can acquire if you skip out on things, if something goes wrong, if any unsafe acts, stuff like that starts adding to your time. So it's a time-based event. It's blindfolded. It's catered for an audience. So it's about 30 inches high are how the props are built so that everybody could see from the outside looking in. And yeah, they just put you out there. They blindfold you. They put the pressure on with the time, because that's the only real way they can add pressure on you, because you know you're constantly on a time constraint. So everything we're looking to do it fast, but we're looking to do it correctly.
I got you.
And yeah.
So say getting them on air is one of the benchmarks, right? And if you skip that,
Yes.
you just that puts time on what your actual time was. They add minutes or
Yeah,
seconds
so if
to
you
that.
get, so you have your assessment, right? Everyone plays a role. So like with, to add on to what Chris said, like everyone plays a role. We got our 4-man team. You got the first guy going in of a 2-man team. They normally split the teams, so they call it the prelim and the final. So in the prelim, you run 2 guys. So Chris and I run together. He hauls the RIT bag. I haul a tool. Everything that comes in with you that they give you has to come out. So tools, RIT bag, your cold cutters can stay, your pick-off straps can stay. But all that stuff has to come out, because in a real life scenario, if I take a Halligan, I need that Halligan maybe at the door to get out. So you have to take it with you. They make it realistic in that aspect. So I'll be sounding floors. I'll be doing radio comms. And my radio has turned off before a competition. And I go, hey, Chris, take over radio comms. And he's got to be able to, hey, I got you. Start jumping on it while I either troubleshoot or I keep going, because remember the time clock. We can't stop. So then I go through obstacles. I have to assist him with the bag. So once we get to the down firefighter, then the second team can be released. We have a guy in another room on radio command, and it's, hey, start me the RIT team, send them in. So they'll send them. They come and find us. While they're coming to us, Chris and I will be, hey, I start assessing him. I came up with an acronym because I'm, fireman. You got to have an acronyms. I kind of call it AMRLA, because you got to assess the air as priority, the mask's priority, the regulator's priority. So AMRLA. Air mask regulator is out there. Is he entrapped? Is he conscious? And then I got more resources coming, and if I need anything additional, I can call him in on the radio. So you do the whole assessment. The judges, they're telling you stuff in your ear at the same time. You got to call air checks. Hey, how much air? Because you can't see your heads-up displays, so you can't see anything. So, hey, how much air do I got? There was one competition every 15 seconds I called an air check, because I was just working so hard, and 30 seconds I ate 1,000 psi. I was just pumping. So I was like, air, how much air, how much air, how much air? And he's like, bro, stop asking me, but I needed to know. So then once the other team gets there, Chris and I can take off, because now we pass him on to him. Hey, he's packed, he's good. You guys got to get him out. So we're gassed. We go out, we take all our tools out, and we wait for him. There's a Denver prop at the end. So then they bring him to us, and then we meet at the Denver prop, and we got to get him out that way. So that's the prelim, and then the final, he hit on it. The final, we can do whatever we want. We can release all 4. But we can't hit Vibe Alert, and we can't run out of air.
Yeah.
If you hit Vibe Alert, you got 10 seconds or 30 seconds, I can't remember what it is, to connect each other, which there was a competition that 13 teams DQ'd out of because of air, injury, whatever it was. So we RIT ourselves. So we took the air pack, we connected to the down fireman. After that, he RIT me while I was working, and then he RIT himself. So it's like, we got to get as much air as we possibly can to keep working, and then we dipped out. So yeah, the final is pretty much like a strategy free-for-all type deal. It is a game. At the end of the day, it's a game, but it still translates to real life. We take the gamemanship out of it, and we go to the skills for the real life aspect.
Yeah, sure. One of the things I really like about that, you were saying that final competition is based on an actual line of duty death, right?
Yes.
I love that, because the best way that we can honor those, that we've lost, is to never forget them. So you got to know their names, and you got to speak their names when you talk about training for them, and use their scenarios to make yourselves better. That's the best way you can honor people who have died in the line of duty. So we do that. When I travel and teach with Capital, we got multiple RIT drills that we do that are based on some instructors with us at their departments that have gone through line of duty deaths. They'll build, or we'll build complete scenarios out that are as similar to that incident as we can. We always talk about, these are the names of the guys, this is what happened, this is what you guys are going to go through. Anyway, I see that even though this is a competition, you still bring that real life, relating it to an actual line of duty death to honor those that we've lost, man. I think that is incredible.
Thanks. Another thing I want to say is the good thing about this competition too is it's evolving, right? So even the preliminary course, it's not the same course every single time. So you may get one preliminary course and be like, all right, we're going to practice that course because it's going to be exactly the same the next time around. But it's not. It's different. They change it up. They change the direction. They change where you can travel. So the good thing is that it's not something you're just teaching yourself to pass a competition. You have to actually be good at the skill aspect of it and the firemanship part of it.
Sure.
And then another thing is that the teams are so competitive that you may, like, 1 or 2 time penalties is the difference between first place and 8th place. So it puts that pressure on you that you have to perform to the best of your ability and to the best of what you're capable of. Because just making that one simple mistake, like in real life, can cost you the firefighter's life or your own life. So that's where the aspect of at least putting the pressure on makes it somewhat realistic, in the sense where if you mess up, you're going to mess it up for the whole team. And we put a lot of effort into it. We sacrifice our own personal time. We're constantly training. We're constantly trying to make ourselves better. So we all, as team members, want to make sure that we're not the ones costing each other penalties.
Yeah, I love that, man. That's incredible too. It's not all about getting it done fast. It's about getting it done fast and right.
Yeah, they never let me forget that I catch all the penalties.
He's got a lot of work, so that's why.
That's one thing too, which is kind of cool about the competition that relates into real life is, right, like I was the first man through the door, so I'm sounding floor, I'm doing radio, I'm getting to the down firefighter first, I'm packaging him, I'm doing all these things, and it's like, how do you spread the workout? Like, you're killing one dude, and you really it goes to the fire ground, and it relates in the aspect of, like, when you see those guys who don't train or don't work out and stuff, you're like, man, I'm going to have my work cut out for me today because I can't share the workload with him. I'm not going to look at him and go, hey, you drag your half, hey, you do this, because you're not up to the level of the job. So it's nice to be able to be like, hey, you need to pick up this work with our teammates, because we're all on the same caliber, on the same level of training. It's like, all right, cool, I got you. Let me help you here. Or like he carries the RIT bag. You carried the RIT bag through that maze, and he mentioned 30 inches, right? 30 inches, there's crossbars every 5 feet. So like you can't do the slide, you'll lose your head. You can't do anything. If you watch some more videos online, you'll see that my pack is loose, or our guys run packs loose, and my pack's on my side because that's the gamemanship. But I can't make it through because my pack's just hitting crossbars. So it's like he's got to carry the RIT bag through all that. So sometimes when he passes it to me, I'll take it the extra 5 feet to give him a break. Be like, hey, I put your RIT bags on right, but I put it up an extra 5 feet. And he's like, oh, damn, thank you. Like, that just gives him that break to be able to breathe in those, I forgot what they call them, but it's just, I take those little breathers. Like, there's a point where we do drywall, and I'm at the drywall, but I go, Halligan, and he comes up, grabs it, and breaks it. But it gives me that mental, just physical 5 seconds I need to breathe, to re-engage.
I call it a tactical pause.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
It's just like, it's your time to catch your breath for that 5 or 10 seconds. Also look around and see what's going on to get you out of that tunnel vision that you're in at the moment. So I love that aspect of it. Another thing that I really love about the competitions is it teaches you how to do your job. Like, so many times on the fire ground, you want to be the hero of the story, right? You want to make the save, you want to make the grab, but you don't realize that your job is the most important, because by doing your job correctly, by me managing that bag correctly, by me getting it there, by me getting him on air fast, that is just as important as the person dragging him out. So at first, when you do RIT scenarios, or when you're doing them, in the training grounds, or you're doing them on battalion drills or whatnot, everybody wants to be involved and everybody starts huddling around the patient and everybody wants to do the same thing. But being a part of these competitions teaches you like, hey, let's slow down. Let's get what we got to get done. Let's have one person communicate, one person get ready to guide us out, one person hook them up on air, one person to assess. So everything is working at once. It's kind of like when you're working a code, as far as the EMS aspect, like everybody has a role. And if everybody does their job right, we give that firefighter the best chance to make it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you want to look at it on the aspect of just your typical fireground, right? It's the same thing. You don't have your, typically, I'm sure things, depending on what needs done, but typically speaking, your engine company's not doing truck work and your truck companies aren't doing engine work, right? Everyone does their job for the good of the team and for the good of the overall outcome, right? So that's pretty awesome, man. Man, I like that a lot. This stuff is so fucking cool to me, man. Like I said, I never even knew that this was a thing till I found you guys on Instagram.
Just
it's incredible, and I want to be a part of it somehow. I want to see what we got to do, up my way to maybe get something like this going, because it seems like it's
plane tickets.
So fun.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, I know Frog. I can't speak for Frog themselves, but I know that they're expanding, and I know that. I mean, we just went to Reno this year, and they're looking for different places to go because they're trying to spread the culture. They're trying to spread RIT culture, and they're trying to make it so where everybody can be involved and they want to grow. So I know they want to get it out other places. So hopefully, I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
We can get together. We can connect them with you guys, or we can go up there and show you how it's done, how to train for it, get you guys down, see if you like it. And maybe make one of these trips to Florida as a team, and whatever we can do to help you guys. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's about sharing the culture.
Yeah, I know we all sacrificed a lot because I was studying for captain. He's doing his Ironman stuff. Life takes over. But then, what was it, last year? They're like, hey, we're going to Reno. They told all the teams, like, hey, we're planning on going to Reno. And I go, if you guys go, we will come and support you. Like, we will bring... Like I was telling you beforehand, like I worked for a small department before this, and he worked for a small department as well. Well, bigger than mine, but to be part of Miami-Dade is a blessing. It's amazing, man. Like what the name weight holds is incredible. So it's like we want to carry on that legacy. So we also wanted to support Frogs. So Palm Beach came, which was awesome. So it's like get some big department names out there, and like wow, hopefully it can take off and be a cultural thing that goes on. Back to what Chris was saying a little bit too is like people doing their jobs. We went through a little bit of like a growth spurt, I guess you can say, right? Trying to do search. Just because the prelims, everyone knows their job. The job's cut and dry. But when you go into the finals and we're trying to do search, and it's like, man, we're doing left-hand search. You're doing right-hand search. You got the victim, but who's dragging the victim? Who's packaging the victim? Because your job's changed. If I get to the victim first, I'm not going to wait for you to come over here and you do all the work. So it was really cool to see everyone adapt just to like real life scenario, like, hey, I need to learn every role. I need to know how to package. I need to know how to do air. I need to know how to assess. I need to know how to move him. I need to know how to drag him. I need to know where we're going. I need to stay oriented. I can't rely on that guy because he might not know that we're oriented because so it was really, really neat to see that from the competition aspect, but translate into training for real life.
Yeah. Do you guys ever have a guy who's dedicated as like the officer per se, kind of like how it would be typically, I guess, in the field where you got one guy in charge kind of overseeing the whole operation but doesn't actually get super hands-on?
Yeah, yes and no, but I think that's something that the team, like in the field, which I can speak on that a little bit. In the field, yes, you got to have the guy who's back, right? But in the competition, like if Chris is back, no hands-on, he's assuming like the rope. He's assuming the way out. Hey, which way's the way out? I got it. He's only the one talking, guiding us. And we're not all like, we all know to shut up because I'm doing a packaging. I can't know which way we're going out. Chris is doing nothing. He's holding the rope and the RIT bag, and he's there. He's in control. So we, in competition, we're able to relinquish control. And as far as like call wise, you have to, man. Like the call I was just involved in, I wasn't the first guy through the door. I wasn't the guy pulling him out of the room. But my team, my truck was sure as hell an intricate piece into making that happen with the assessment, of the down firefighter with making sure he had air, making sure, checking for a pulse, all this stuff that everyone wants to go. Everyone's super fast. Go, 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 go. I didn't put hands on him. I stepped back and I just started screaming at people. I go, hey, everybody stop. Stop. Put him down right here. Assess him. Check for a pulse. Turn on his air. Check his mask. What do we got? We're obviously in a safer IDLH, but everyone just wants to run. But I'm like, well, this guy's going to die. If you don't stop, he's going to die. And nobody is stepping up and stepping back and going, hey, let me assess the whole situation and seeing that's going on right in front of me. It may be for a minute. It was only there for a minute, but you got to stop. So that's the little difference between the competition and real life, I think.
Do you guys get pretty good support from your department?
We do, definitely. And it's earned by, the time that they see that we put there. Like, we're always at the training grounds, and we help out too. Like, I'm involved in recruit training, so I train new recruits, and part of one of the things we do when we're getting them ready to go through our maze is we run them through the RIT maze. And we also give back. Like, we have Advanced Week, where most of the guys from the RIT team come and teach advanced techniques to the new recruits. So it's a give and take. Our department supports us, we support them, and it's something that we love. The fact that our department really tries to get us to wherever we want to go, as far as going to, especially our union too. It's not our union helps us. They support us. They helped us get to Reno, so there's a lot of support, definitely.
Yeah, our unions, the department's super intricate. They're both, I'd say they both are extremely intricate into what we do. Like, the union is financially there. They're a brotherhood, like they're a true brotherhood. They support everything we do, and they want to see it continue to grow and us bring back stuff. So they, without a question, they're always there. And the department helped us with supplying wood, gear, about whatever they can supply for us to make things. But like Chris said, we're always there. Like, if we were never there, they
wouldn't just give us, money.
Give us stuff, but it's like, you guys are always here. I'm not in recruit training. I'm on shift, and I come, and they're like, why don't you just come to recruit training if you're always here? No, because I'm here to train RIT, not train the recruits. Yeah. So
awesome,
guys. I have to step out, but I got one thing I wanted to add because we were talking about it real quick. One of the things that being on the team teaches you is it teaches you how to work with alpha male personalities, because that's what we are, right? And nobody wants to hear during a practice run like, hey, you didn't do your job this run, or you could do this better. But one of the things that we've learned with working with each other for so much is that we're not afraid to tell each other the truth. And I tell Carson all the time. Carson tells me, like, hey, if I'm slowing us down, tell me. Or if you're slowing us down, I'm going to tell you how we can make each other better. And that's what I love about this, is it teaches you to work with alpha males, and it teaches you how to humble yourself and say, like, hey, man, maybe I didn't do this right, or maybe the way I'm doing it didn't work out this time. So we're constantly evolving. And we're not just staying on the same basic skills. We're trying to see how we can get better. And that's where the real benefit comes and how it can translate to real life.
Awesome. How long? You said you got to jump out now?
Yeah.
All right. So I don't do a whole lot of editing on this, but I'll edit this part out.
Okay.
So in order to not lose, I think your track, we got to wait till you upload. And I don't know if it's going to do it until I end it. So
I was like, you want to end and rejoin it?
Is there anything else important you guys wanted to get in on the episode itself?
No, you're good.
I didn't really have any other big questions.
As long as we covered it for you, we're good there, man. I mean, it, like you said, it just teaches you to be humble, bro. Like, I'll train guys and even after going through the scenario, and we're all alpha males, like, oh man, like, I want to tell you about this, but it's like, you got to come across with the humility, like, God put me in that situation to learn, and now to bring it to you. And the passion tries to overwhelm it sometimes. Like, we're super passionate about it, so that can come off as aggressive or whatever. But the wife's giving me the look too.
But it's all good.
No, but that's it, man.
That's awesome.
We covered it all. We appreciate it.
I think you guys are doing some pretty good work, man. And even though it's a competition, and I'm sure it's fun, because it sounds incredibly fun to me. It still translates to doing incredible work for the fire service as a whole. So anything you guys can do to, portray the fire service in a good light, to build the brotherhood, to build the culture of training and bettering yourselves and honoring those we've lost, like, you guys are doing awesome things. So where can these guys find you at?
We're at Miami Metro Dade RIT or Metro Dade RIT on Instagram. That's pretty much it. We don't have time to run everything else, but just Instagram or
Yeah, just Instagram. And like I said, man, whatever we can do to help you build that culture as far as competition wise up there, reach out to us, man. We're always willing to help because we want to see the culture grow.
Yeah, I can send you videos from the maze. I can give you a rundown, send you score sheets, whatever you need, bro.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate
No problem,
it.
man. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, man, I'm gonna end this, but don't actually hang up yet, all right? Yep.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
All right, guys, that was the episode. Thanks for joining us and listening again. Don't forget to follow the Metro Dade RIT team on Instagram. It's at Metro Dade RIT _. And while you're at it, make sure you are sharing this podcast. Do the like, subscribe, share, whatever platform you're listening to. Give us a rating. And also don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok if it's still around. All those are at Hasty Rescue Strap. And www.hastyfireproducts.com if you want to pick up a Hasty Rescue Strap for yourself. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.